What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Oilers Nation After Dark. Connor Halley with you here. Got my producer, Aaron Bordato, alongside tonight. We've got the panel coming on. We've got Waz, we've got Liam. We'll get to them both very shortly here, but it is, like I said, Oilers Nation After Dark. The Edmonton Oilers victorious down in Los Angeles, playing another extremely solid game against a defensive team like the LA Kings, and it was a fun night. For the Oilers, a lot of high-intensity moments, setting up for potentially a playoff series. We'll get into that more. The Vegas Golden Knights were in action. We'll discuss what happened in that one and where the Oilers currently sit in the standings. But let's jump right into it on YouTube. If you're watching right now, make sure you hit that like button. We're going to try to get a season high in likes. We got to go over 100 at least. There's 68 of you in there right now. We'll get those numbers going. Dustin, Justin, that was a coincidence, but Kyle, Rogan, what's up, Rogan? We've got Jake, we've got Chell, QF Pro, Dr. Gonzo, Lights Out. I'm sure Rusty's got to be in there as well. Lance, everyone, thank you for tuning in tonight. If you're on Facebook, hit that like button as well. Tell a friend. I see Ryan, Corey, Nick, Mark, Marlene. A lot of positivity, a lot of blue and orange hearts. We like to see that in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, like I said. And of course, I hear you can send stars. So yeah, send us some stars if you can do so. All right, let's get right into it. We'll start off with the good, the bad, the oily, brought to you by Cornerstone Insurance. Cornerstone Insurance Brokers, Edmonton's premier boutique insurance brokerage with over 90 years of success and still growing. Visit cornerstoneins.ca/nation to get an online tenant or condo insurance quote in just a few minutes and use discount code NATION for an exclusive rate. Find out why Cornerstone Insurance Brokers are ranked amongst the best in Alberta. For the good, the bad, the oily, we bring in Liam tonight. And Liam, my first question, how are you doing?
Good morning. I feel like I could be in bed right now, Connor. I was very, very worried that game was going to go to overtime and we were going to be starting the show probably about 10 minutes from now. So I'm feeling good. I got my way through that game and the Oilers got 2 points. So that's what matters. And if we have to play the LA Kings in the first round of the playoffs, I'm going to need some banana flavored coffee to get through it, I think, because holy moly, could it be a snooze fest?
You know what? I had some banana bread tonight. Very clutch. A big thank you to my mom for providing that. I was going to ask you a question too. How many bananas, Liam? Because that was a nail biter.
Yeah, I had 3 bananas tonight, Connor. That was a stressful one. We're getting into the stressful time of year territory where everything matters, and boy oh boy, it felt good though to come away with the 2 points there.
3 bananas, 3 Oilers goals. I don't know if there's something to that, but it was a fun night for the Edmonton Oilers. Darnell Nurse ices it with the empty netter. The guy's absolutely on fire. I think Aaron, our producer, had told us beforehand 4 or 5 of the last games Darnell Nurse has now scored in the guy. He's heating up at the right time. Improving those numbers, a career high season for him when it comes to points. Okay, we teased it there. Let's get to the good, the bad, the oily. We start off with the good. And on this occasion, I think we got to say Nuge at 99 points. He gets the big goal, his 36th of the season. That put him up to 98 points on the season, and just a massive goal for the Oilers on the power play. You know, also use this quickly to say, side note to the LA Kings, they did not make it easy on the Oilers power play tonight. They had to work for their 2 goals that they got on the power play. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, that sneaky shot that he always has, and then he picks up an assist later on as well on the Leon Draisaitl goal. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins just continuing to put up these numbers at a rapid pace. And like I said, they're not garbage points. When he scores or gets an assist, it always seems to be at a crucial moment in the game.
Yeah, the Nuge is huge, and he's grown into that nickname forever now. And it's just, yeah, he showed up at a massive time for the team. And that shot is funny, isn't it? We talk about like Draisaitl has his like signature move, and McDavid has the one where he just comes in with speed and beats everyone on the ice. But the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins one where he just goes low blocker is just something that is so subtle. Everyone knows it's going to happen, yet we never really talk about it as much. And here he is, 1 point away from 100, and I got a sneaky suspicion he might be able to get it tomorrow night against the Anaheim Ducks, which would also put him as level with Nathan MacKinnon for both having one career 100-point season, which happened tonight for MacKinnon. So late, Connor, I can't even talk. And I can't believe Nathan MacKinnon only has one 100-point season, but that's a different conversation, I suppose.
Yeah, and I mean Nathan McKinnon missed a bunch of time earlier this year as
Yeah.
well, so I'm probably not the last, but phenomenal what Nuge is doing at these clutch moments. Okay, with the good comes the bad, and for the Oilers, I didn't think there was a whole lot of bad, but this is my request. I said the referees. The one thing I want out of referees is consistency.
Hmm.
When they took Clean Kostanov by himself at the start of the second period, I thought, okay, you better keep that up. And then I don't know, a little bit later, we see Bukestad put Iafolo into the boards. Not a dirty play. Iafolo reacts, punches him in the face, and the refs send them both off. Bukestad didn't do anything. He took it. It was a clean hit. He didn't, do anything dirty. Iafolo kind of went into the boards a little bit awkward, but that's not on Bukestad. The referees got to me tonight, Liam.
Oh, they get to me every single night, Connor. It's an absolute disgrace, the product the NHL puts out there most nights, which they call referees, because they quite frankly miss too much. And I get it. It's an incredibly quick game, and you're not going to call everything, but some of them tonight, and it was kind of both ways too. But the Iafolo one, the fake tough Iafolo, who somehow only has 20 penalty minutes all season. I don't really get that. Every time I watch him, he just lives in my head rent free. There was the one where McDavid got tripped on the penalty kill, and then they cleared the puck and he got interfered with by the defenseman. It was just kind of a wild night. And then the Derek Ryan one right at the end too. And I know there was like a fair amount of penalties called, but also the ones that were missed were so blatantly obvious. It was just strange. But yeah, the costume one, I'm with you. Like, sure, if you want to call that and you want to kind of make a statement, fair enough. Like, but the next time it happens, you have to do the same. And then maybe from there, you can kind of adjust it a little bit, but you can't just call one team and then not call the other. And also, I didn't really think the game was getting like that out of hand by any point. Like, there was a couple of scuffles here and there, but there was never anything like too vicious, I found. So it was just a weird night for the officials. But again, not surprising. They suck every night.
Kyle Dan Vollmer says the bad has to be the shots in the first. That very well could have been it. The Kings out shooting the Oilers 3-2 in the first period in shots. Yeah, that was terrible. We've got 200 people in the chat right now on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and answer this question. Is Nuge going to break 100 tomorrow night against the Ducks? We saw the Oilers put up a lot of goals on Saturday. Could it continue? Could it be point night? Will Nuge get to 100 points? Let us know on Facebook and as well YouTube on the chat. Okay, let's get to the Oily tonight. And the Oily for this one, we give a little love to that LA crowd. The booing McDavid. Obviously, they didn't like the hit on old Mikey Anderson. And maybe also because, he's the best player in the world. And why would you like him in your rank? But the LA crowd was bringing it tonight. I think they're ready for a playoff series.
Yeah, I mean, credit to them for keeping it going, but I thought it was funny in the third period. He had the puck for a while, and it seemed like they forgot, and then they started to pick up the boos a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, that's good. The last great player that played here went to LA, so now hopefully McDavid can cross the LA Kings off his list of destinations if he ever chose to leave the Oilers. But yeah, hey, at least they watched the game the other night, unlike some teams in California. I'm sure they don't get many fans watching, so credit to them, I suppose, but we should just stop booing Mikey Anderson, but he's almost so irrelevant to the game when he plays against the others that who even cares if he's on the ice or not?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see when he's going to return. I like you throwing a little gas onto the fire there, and it's quite unanimous here. Oh, I shouldn't say that because Aaron put a poll out there, and it's will Nuge score 100 tomorrow? 98% yes, 2% no. So we got a couple negative people in there, or maybe they're just honest and realistic. Who knows? Good news is we'll find out in less than 24 hours. Okay, we also have Waz, who's patiently waiting for us to get through the good, the bad, the oily. We're through it, so we'll bring Waz in. Waz, thanks for waiting. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. We defeated the LA Kings. I am very happy, and I'm not as tired as the game against Arizona, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that 8:52 start, only 8:40, whatever it might have been, 8:38. Waz, why don't we just start with this one here? And this is one of the things that I wanted to get to pretty quickly off the start. The Edmonton Oilers, 2 games against the LA Kings in the last week. They win, 2-1 and 3-1? No, 2-0, sorry, and 3-1. Tight competitive games, showing that they can play that playoff style hockey. I mean, it's an encouraging sign that they can play run and gun, and then, against the Kings, against the Bruins, they can shut it down and play better defensive hockey. And that's been a knock on this team for a while.
Yeah, I think this is a great sign, especially going into the postseason here, showing that the Oilers can honestly play against anyone, against any top team. I'm very interested to see how they'll play against Colorado coming up here as well. So that'll be another top team who just Nathan McKinnon got his 100th point tonight. So, but in general, it's awesome to see the Oilers being able to shut down the LA Kings. I saw a funny tweet earlier this before hopping on here. Let me see if I can find it. It was just an LA Kings fan that said LA has beat them twice already, but with a healthy roster. So there's just a lot of excuses from LA Kings fans whenever they lose to us. It's like, oh, we were hurt. So what? We've had an injured roster. We weren't complaining. We weren't making excuses. Suck it up.
We've got Duke saying that your hair looks incredible, Waz.
Thank you.
Also, that Liam looks like he has a potassium deficiency, but we know that's not the case. It's just, it's 11:38. It's been a long day. Everyone's working hard. We're going to get through it, though. Liam, just going to stick with that one and get your thoughts. I mean, did you think that, if push came to shove, the Oilers could play this style of game back-to-back against the LA Kings where, you slow it down, you take what they give you. They had 2 shots in the first period. I wonder what the message was. Maybe they were calm and okay about that because they weren't losing.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there was some levels of frustration of obviously not being able to get the offense going, but the Oilers are an interesting team in that sense of that was clearly the way the LA Kings wanted to play, but I found that the Oilers found a great way to also just play that style and not really worry about what LA were trying to do. And it's funny because sometimes you're those great teams and like the Oilers are trying to be, and you want to dictate the game as much as you can, but sometimes it's okay to play to the other team's strengths a little bit too. Like when they play Vegas, it's very run and gun offense at both ends of the ice. When you watch them play LA, it's essentially a snooze fest. So it's just kind of funny that they're able to adjust that so much and then come out of 2 games scoring 5 goals and allowing 1. And quite frankly, I didn't really think Stuart Skinner was going to allow any tonight. The one that went through was kind of a tough one for him. I think most goalies in the NHL would have allowed that one to go in too. So I think all around the Oilers made it very difficult for LA to break into the zone and actually have good chances. Like, did LA really have, I'm trying to think about it. Did they have many great opportunities to score? I can't really think of one where Skinner had to make like an outstanding save. Like they obviously had chances, but there was never anything like, oh boy, that was a close one, right?
I think
He had the nice glove save.
Yeah,
that's right. There was one.
They showed him after, and he just looked so calm. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a smile or anything. The guy's locked in.
But it was nothing like when they played LA last time and he made that one massive save. Like I think we all remember. I think honestly, I think every Oilers fan, every player on the ice just felt confident with Skinner between the pipes, and the defense played really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, was it on Kempe last game on the breakaway he stopped
I believe
him?
so.
I think,
yeah.
I mean, he makes those saves. Let's just stick with Stuart Skinner. I mean, I don't know if any of us saw this coming this quickly. Stuart Skinner taking over the number 1 position, and obviously mostly goes to Jack Campbell and the struggles that he's had. But Waz, did you see Stuart Skinner? Like, was there indications that he could be this good this early in the things you saw from him?
This early? Do you mean like from the start of this year?
From the start of this year, yeah.
A little bit. I think so. I think he wasn't allowing as many goals as Jack Campbell or as many goals that you feel like he should have had. Also, I think last year, if we go back to last year, there was a small indication that there was potential with Stuart Skinner. I remember when he got that shutout and they got sent back down, right? And we were all kind of puzzled. Why would you send down a guy who just got a shutout? But Stuart Skinner is really just taking advantage of an opportunity that's presented itself. It's like, well, the supposed starter is not playing well. I can really make a case for myself here, and he's done an excellent job. And there's just a lot of trust, I think, with Stuart Skinner from the Oilers coaching staff, players, and now the fans, of course.
171 minutes, 6 seconds. That was the goals drought or goals against drought for the Oilers. So good goaltending, good defense. I saw that Jason Gregor had put that one out there. Gregor had one more stat here. That Leon Draisaitl ties Joe Nieuwendyk and Mario Lemieux for third most power play goals in the season with 31, only trails Dave Anderchuk at 32 and Tim Kerr at 34. So, just a historic number, all because of the power play. Scott on Facebook says, I hear a hint of an Irish accent. Liam, is that offensive to you?
I'm just glad he didn't say Scottish. I'll take the Irish.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine.
English.
Yeah, English, not British, right? Was
yeah, it's not British.
The thing with Skinner, just to add just a small detail on him, I think one thing that's curious with him, and maybe we kind of forget about, is like this guy has won essentially everywhere he's gone. He won in the WHL. He won a lot when he was in minor hockey. I think he was part of that Bakersfield team that won like the COVID title or whatever they did down there. Like, he has a reputation of being part of very good teams and going on to have a lot of success. And I think that's very interesting for him to be like such a young goalie in the league right now and having that same success again. Like, it can't be just a coincidence that this guy finds his way on all such great teams almost every single season. So Skinner, I think it's surprising, yes, how consistent he's been, but just with the mentality of being a true winner, like maybe it shouldn't be as much as a surprise as it is at the moment.
It's so good to see. I mean, I've said it so many times. Like his composure to me is what really impresses me. Doesn't seem to get rattled.
The last thing I'll say about Skinner is, in terms of his growth, is he showed a lot of adversity as well in that sense, because there was a point in time people weren't really sure if he was going to be able to handle an NHL minutes or make the NHL. There was, I think, his stats in Bakersfield, and they weren't looking pretty, and it didn't seem that future was bright, but he really just, stuck it through and improved, and look where he is now. And it's very motivating, honestly.
It was brought up in the YouTube chat there. Just a question. Did Leon Draisaitl match Connor McDavid's point total from last year? Yes. They're now both 123 McDavid had last year. That's where Leon is now. McDavid's up to 147 points on the season. Darnell Nurse with his 12th goal of the season. And Bouchard's up to 36 points on the year. Nuge, like we've talked about, up to 99. Why don't we get to some of the goals here? We talked about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and his goal. We might as well take a look at it. And, Liam, just clutch, this is what you want to see from Nuge. We talked about that sneaky wrist shot, and finds a way to bury it. Draisaitl, Bouchard pick up the assist, but massive goal.
The Nuge is huge again. Yeah, I mean, it was perfect timing, really. Like, somebody had to break the deadlock, and I kind of felt at that moment whoever's going to get the first goal maybe was going to be able to go on and get the win, and that is what ultimately happened for this team. And it's just kind of amazing, this power play as a whole, isn't it? Like, the groups they're able to have out there with, if Draisaitl or McDavid aren't getting the goal on the play, then there's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who is 1 point away from 100 on the other side of the ice. And it's crazy what this group's able to do almost every single night under how much pressure they were tonight. And I mean, credit to the LA Kings. I know the Oilers obviously got 2 power play goals, but their penalty kill, I believe, statistically is worse than the Oilers this season, and it did not show tonight. They played very, very well on the penalty kill, I found. Despite allowing 2, they made it extremely difficult for the Oilers to score 2 goals.
Yeah, and I think that was like the Oilers were 0-10 or 0 for 10 going up against the Kings heading into this one. And then, 2 for 4 tonight. The LA Kings on the flip side, 0 for 4 on the power play. Victor Arvidsson would score his 25th of the season. And then, it was just an awesome shift by Connor McDavid immediately after that to draw a penalty. Probably could have drawn a couple. He took the slash, he took the trip, and then Leon Draisaitl on the power play picks up his 122nd point of the season, 51st goal of the season. What do you think of this one? Just Leon Draisaitl, waiting for an opportunity to pounce.
It was awesome. I loved it. It was just vintage Leon in his office, and no one can stop him. When he scored that goal, I was thinking of like Thanos from the Avengers for Marvel. Like, he's inevitable in that position, and he honestly just kind of had to like break through those like 2 LA defensemen there. It's just like, no one's stopping me. I'm scoring this. We're taking the lead. And I also loved earlier when Nuge scored, and he kind of like shoved, like, just like looked in the LA Kings players like, see what happens when we score. It's like, I love Leon. Leon's playing with some different confidence right now. And I think it was Tyler who mentioned this on Oilersnation Every Day in one of the podcasts, how at the beginning, I remember the All-Star game, he had that interview where he said he wasn't feeling too great about his game, that, he hasn't been the most confident and he has to play better. Well, we're seeing the best version of Leon Draisaitl that we've probably ever seen.
Call me crazy, but Leon Draisaitl is the best player on the Edmonton Oilers right now. Like that, I know that sounds like an absolute wild comment.
I don't know if
with
you're
Connor
crazy about that.
McDavid, but that man just scored a hat trick and hit his 50th goal, got the game-winning goal tonight. He has just been absolutely absurd recently, and I know Connor McDavid is obviously goes nuts as well. But boy, oh boy, is Leon Draisaitl just showing up in the most clutch moments the last however many games for his team. And I think it's the only game since maybe it's early February 1st, that he hasn't got a point was against Buffalo. Like, he's just been nuts recently. And I know Connor McDavid is on this team.
Yeah.
But Leon Draisaitl is going absolutely nuts at the moment, and you just love to see it.
He is playing phenomenal right now. And there was a stretch when, wasn't going quite his way, but he certainly turned it around. I know Yaremchuk was down there for All-Star Weekend, and he talked about how he, wasn't his best year, but yeah, you know what? You're getting a couple people agreeing with you. Let us know in the chat, though. If you're watching on YouTube, we're up to 300 people. I think that might be a career high for us here on Oilers Nation After Dark. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Let's try to get like 200 likes. That would be awesome. And then tell us, is Liam crazy or is he on to something? Is Leon Draisaitl the best player on the Oilers right now? Now. We're living in the moment.
I'll accept all the crazy comments because I know it's kind of nuts to say, and it's fine, but I think it's a very interesting conversation.
Bradley says you're crazy. Gail says, yep, not crazy at all. Alicia says, wow, Leon, he's the shit. So you know what? Hey, maybe not as crazy. Dr. Gonzo says zero love for Kane. We got to give some love to Kane. I mean, he was throwing the weight around tonight. He's built for the playoffs. A series like this against the Kings, if it were to happen, he's going to thrive.
Yeah, we saw what he did last year. I remember I think on the broadcast they mentioned this is the first time Evander Kane was in LA since he put up the 7. Or I'm sorry with my bad fingers, but yeah, I'm excited. Kane always just brings a little bit of tenacity with him, a little bit of bite, and he can score. He can finish hits, and he's not afraid to obviously likes to stand up for his teammates, and he likes to get into those little scuffles. And Evander Kane's kind of almost everything you want in a hockey player, right? Like, I think we'd like to see a bit more finish from him right now, but that's probably going to come playoff time, and that's when it matters.
And now, I don't know if we have the third goal, Aaron. If we do, you can bring it up, but we should mention Darnell Nurse. He's just lined it up and sniped it. He knew exactly what he was doing. His 12th goal of the season, Leon Draisaitl winning the faceoff, getting it to him. I will say, I thought, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. You know what you're doing. Like, I thought that was kind of an interesting decision, but when you score, who are we to be critical? Liam, did you believe in Darnell with that one?
Of course. I was
surprised to I was like, okay, somebody scored. Good. Oh, is it Leon? Is it Nurse? I'm not too sure.
It was weird because it looked like Leon led the flyby. So I was like, oh, did Leon score? I thought he took the face off, but I believe the statistic on an empty net is that you have a 1 in 14 chance to score because that's how many nets you could fit across the ice. You may as well shoot it. I mean, what's the worst that happens? It comes back and you get another face-off and you just try again. Like, I mean, they could score, I suppose, but just assume they would win the face-off the second time around too. But I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back here, boys, because a couple of weeks ago, I said that Darnell Nurse is getting too much hate and that he deserves more love from his fan base. And I said it on ON radio, and people didn't agree. Most people did, but a lot of people didn't. And now recently, this guy has just been absolutely tearing it up. I also said, to give myself a second pat on the back, that we need to start believing in Jack Campbell. And then next thing you know, the guy goes and gets a shutout. So it's been a good week for me. It's been a good couple of weeks.
I respect that. We got to get to you. Go ahead, Wes.
When Liam speaks, good things happen.
We need a highlight reel of all the things you've mentioned. Like, there we go. This is it. Carmen says Nurse has been redeeming himself lately for sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of that, part of that comes with Ekholm as well.
I think Sean Bell, sorry, Connor.
Oh, go ahead.
Sean Bell mentioned something interesting on Oilersnation Every Day where he was like, with the addition of Ekholm, it's allowed to kind of take that pressure in those minutes off Nurse and spread the minutes around the blue line a bit more. And that way, Darnell Nurse isn't getting exhausted, right? Like, that's something we don't typically think about because Nurse, he plays a ton of minutes. He's a workhorse, but eventually that does catch up with you as the game goes on, especially against the best competition in the NHL. And Ekholm's just been, he's provided that stability throughout the blue line.
So actually, Connor, I wrote an article on this too, and kind of the research I was looking at in how Nurse's minutes are kind of being distributed a little bit now with Ekholm. So when Nurse's minutes are now being taken back more is when the Oilers lead. So when the Oilers are trailing. So when the Oilers are trailing, that's when you'll see the Ekholm and Bouchard line go out way more often. I can't remember the exact minutes, but it was like almost 2 minutes more ice time on average when the Oilers were trailing in games. But when they were leading in games, Nurse and Ceci were kind of the pairing that would take over a little bit more, which makes sense. So now instead of trying to run Nurse and Ceci a little thin and trying to work them both ways of the ice, they just need to kind of focus on being the defensive guys. And funnily enough, that has somehow helped Darnell Nurse become more of an offensive threat with this team now too. So it's really working out, and that trade has just been so beneficial to the Oilers in so many ways with bringing in Ekholm. It's just helped that entire blue line and just really sustained it all. That also, did Philip Broberg play tonight?
He did.
I kind of forgot he played until I was just rolling it through my head then.
4 minutes.
What's the point?
Sorry, I like Philip Broberg. I don't know why he's been. I mean, a lot of the defensemen above him, the more experienced guys, have been just improving, right? So it's kind of just, there's not a lot of room for him right now, I think, even with how well he could play. The one thing I wanted to mention about Darnell Nurse is I don't know if you guys follow Dom Lucic. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah. From the Athletic.
He posted one of his analytics cards, and apparently, according to Dom, Darnell Nurse's market value right now is $9.4 million. So.
Yeah. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah, he's apparently playing like the $9.4 million defenseman. Well, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the market at the time when he signed. Blame Seth Jones and the Blackhawks, right? That's what happened.
Actually, I said at the time when that all went down, I was like, Darnell Nurse is a better defenseman than Seth Jones. And it was at a hockey camp I was at, and there was a Portland Winterhawks scout there who Seth Jones used to play for, and he was like, "You are talking out your ass right now." Not anymore.
Who's laughing now? The only reason I know Broberg played, I thought he had one decent shift, and I did not think it would be only 4 minutes. But yeah, why? That's a good question. Okay, before we get to our predictions and all that sort of thing, I do want to let people know about the Nation gear for the playoffs. The playoff T-shirt. There's 2 colors. You can check it all out at nationgear.ca, along with the Leon Draisaitl Say the Line shirt. We're going to have some upcoming playoff watch parties, so you want to grab your gear so you fit in. Oil up. I don't even know. Just say the line. We'll go with that one and keep it clean at this late hour here on this show. And there's new stuff coming out as well shortly. So nationgear.ca, check it out. Grab your shirt. It's not going to be around forever because I've heard they are flying off the shelves. Check it out right now. And if you want to take a look on social media at Nation Gear on Instagram or Twitter. And take a scroll, grab a shirt. You guys, I feel like you guys probably have pretty good collections of the Nation gear.
Indeed, I do.
Yeah. I got a few sweaters. It's funny actually, and I've spoken to Bag Milk about this. My first interaction with Oilers Nation was at the trade fair in Sherwood Park in 2010 or 7. I can't remember what year it was,
wow.
and it was. I went and got this white T-shirt, and I still have it, and it just has the Oilers Nation logo on it. And it turns out, and I didn't know this until we spoke about it, it was Bag Milk that was the one that gave me the T-shirt. And it was like $5, and me and my dad both got one. So just a little Nation gear goes back quite far.
$5?
It was $5. They were literally just trying to get the brand out there. So
that makes
it would have
sense.
been the very early days of Oilers Nation. So yeah, funny how things work out, I guess you could say.
Cheryl says, do you ship to Alaska? Now, I believe this was brought up on the last show, and I was told we do. But maybe go take a look. Go to nationgear.ca, see it, fill out everything, see if they do, and we can confirm it that way. But I think they do.
Quickly, I just want to shout out to everyone on YouTube for 10,000 subscribers on the nation or on Oilers Nation. So it's really nice to see that 10K. So thank you to everyone who subscribed on Oilers Nation YouTube, and also of course shout out to everyone on Facebook watching. We appreciate you all. But yeah, to hit a nice little milestone on YouTube. It's something we've been working towards, and Liam, Tyler, everyone who's been a part of it, it's been awesome. So thank you everyone who's subscribed.
And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so now. Yeah. Let's go for 11,000. Let's try to get there.
Let's go.
Right away here. Also hit that like button. Corey says Edmonton is the real true North team. No team is further north.
By the way, if we're talking about nation likes and followers, I mean, the Facebook has like 106,000 followers, so we gotta do a lot of climbing to get to Facebook's numbers on YouTube.
Facebook is phenomenal.
I got a question for you guys. It's kind of been something that's floating around the chat. And, so it's the 11-7 and the 12-6 debate, but on top of that, also now the Philip Broberg debate. So I guess the first part of the question is, do you just continue to have Broberg up here? Because I think he is an NHL defenseman, but if he's not playing, then what are you doing, right? Or do you just kind of send him down and maybe even activate a Ryan Murray? What do you think, Connor?
I mean, I don't think Ryan Murray is going to play for the remainder of the season. Jay Woodcroft spoke on that, I believe, yesterday or 2 days ago. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I do agree with you. You need him to play. I don't think 4 minutes is enough. Is there a veteran you could potentially bring up? Maybe it's Nima Laing. I don't know if that would be the case because you probably want him to play as well. But this is the last year you can actually send him back down, right, without clearing waivers. So next year he is going to be a full-time Oiler and potentially along with Raphael Lavoie. I think that was brought up on the broadcast. Yep. But I love the 11-7 because I like just getting the opportunity for McDavid and Draisaitl to, get out there with different partners and try to take advantage of mismatches. But it's a conundrum. Waz, what do you think?
Oh, I was thinking I was going to say, Liam, maybe the answer is Jason Demers, because I thought he was a Bakersfield Condor, but he's playing in the KHL apparently.
No, Jason Demers is a Condor.
Well, he says his current team is Akbars Kazan.
No, was.
Wow, okay.
The Oilers have signed this man to a deal. The Oilers only have 2 right-handed defensemen in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And Jason Demers is one of them.
Okay, so I think that's fair. I mean, Ryan Murray, in my opinion, there's no point in playing him. I mean, he's barely played any NHL hockey in the last year. I'd rather have Oscar Klefbom back than Ryan Murray on the ice. I'll be honest. Philip Broberg just needs more ice time before the playoffs if possible. I like Philip Broberg a lot. I think he's a young. He's good with the puck. I think he's got some good hockey sense. It's just unfortunately he hasn't been able to crack those minutes, and the guys who are a bit more experienced have been outplaying him.
Demers, I think 54 games with the Condors, no goals, 17 assists. So, hey, he's doing his thing down there. A nice veteran presence. That name did kind of pop into my mind because I've heard that thrown out there before. But it's interesting, and I just want to check Philip Broberg game log here because obviously, 1-goal game. They're going to be a little stingy with the minutes. I mean,
he's not been playing a lot.
Yeah,
I kind of did a bit of a deep dive on him since the Columbus game, and the one thing I noticed was his defensive game. He's actually very strong, very, very strong. He's he's a pretty lanky guy. He's good with his stick. He breaks up a lot of plays with it, and he's fairly strong. And he's good at moving the puck quickly around the boards too. Like when his back's turned, he's not really getting caught off guard. The thing I found with him that was interesting considering the player he's supposed to be was he was doing essentially nothing with the puck. Like he wasn't moving with the puck, and when he got the puck, it was just mostly a simple pass to his D partner, and that was kind of it. Like he wasn't doing anything to really advance the play. And I think when you look at that is, well, the 3 defensemen ahead of him are just 3 guys who are just going to do that, are already doing that. So he's not doing anything to really keep himself in the lineup. I think it's when you're on the road against the LA Kings, maybe 11-7 is the correct approach in the sense of you have a Anze Kopitar and Philip Deneau you're going up against. So if you have the 11-7, and we saw it a bit tonight too, where Draisaitl and McDavid are having shifts with Derek Ryan and Klim Kostin, it gives you a little bit more of an advantage there. So I think, I don't know. I personally would send Broberg down, but I also see the argument to keep him here of the fact of he's practicing every single day with these guys, especially a guy like Ekholm. He's clearly having an effect on this entire team, and I think Broberg can benefit from that. But sometimes it's like, you gotta play. You gotta let the dog off the leash a little bit at the dog park and just let him go and run around and see what he can truly do. And I think eventually the Oilers have got to probably experiment with that a little bit in these last, how many games are they at? 5? Maybe not the Colorado one, but they play San Jose twice and then Anaheim another time. So maybe it's one of those games you can let it fly around a little bit. But it's very interesting. It just gives me massive Evan Bouchard vibes from a few years ago when we were all very frustrated he was never playing, and it worked out well. So maybe I'm just talking on my ass for the most part, but that's kind of what I've just been seeing from his game recently.
Bouchard on the COVID year, right? When he was just on the taxi squad, kind of. Yeah, 4 games left. You got the Ducks, Sharks, Avs, and Sharks again. Maybe if there's a meaningless game in the standings, you see Broberg a little bit more. Maybe tomorrow, who knows? Maybe that was the plan. Give him 4 minutes tonight so we can play 24 tomorrow against the Ducks. We got a lot of people in the chat liking the Nemo Revenge Tour, so we'll see if that happens.
The irony about Niemelainen is that he's never been the same since he turtled to Matthias Ekholm against Nashville earlier in the season.
I never saw that.
You remember that? He went and tried to nail Ekholm. Ekholm ducked out of it, and then he got up, and Niemelainen just kind of turtled it a little bit. And I was like, can't play like that in the NHL, buddy. If you're going to throw around those hits, eventually you got to take some punches to the face.
He's got to exercise those demons. Chris on the old chat says Sean Bell is a beast. Sean Bell, by the way, has a new show on TSN, 9 a.m. Hello Hockey with Tom Gazzola. I'm there too, but I don't talk a lot. But if you're looking for some 9 a.m. content on Saturday mornings, it's going to be a really good show this weekend. I promise you about that one. Okay, let's get to the out-of-town scoreboard here, brought to you by AMA Travel. I've said it for the last couple of shows here. If you want to, plan a trip down to LA or Vegas to watch the playoff games, wherever it might be, AMA Travel is the best way to do so. The Golden Knights, they lost tonight in overtime to the Nashville Pred. How are the Preds still doing this? 3-2 in overtime. The Kraken knocked off the Canucks 5-2. And I believe Andreas Athanasiou and Jujhar Khaira scored for the Blackhawks. They beat the Flames 4-3, the Calgary Flames. What the hell is going on?
Oh, my God.
But we love to see it.
You love to see it, but part of me was kind of hoping for a battle of Alberta in the first round if Edmonton won the West and Calgary got the final wildcard spot. But Calgary's not doing themselves any favors. So, but then again, somebody on Twitter mentioned to me, well, a battle of Alberta would be awesome, but at the same time, it's gonna be the storyline will be how can the Calgary Flames stop Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid? But yeah, I digress.
I don't care for the BOA at all in the playoffs. We won it. Like, it was great, and it was awesome in the moment, but I just don't care for Calgary. I actually thought before tonight they were going to get into the playoffs, but no, not anymore.
You lose to a lottery team.
Yeah, and then Tyson Barrie got an assist on Nashville's game-winning goal. So thank you, Tyson Barrie.
Oh, you love to hear that as well. Okay.
So Vegas up to 104 on the season. The Oilers at 101 points. LA 100. Flames 87 points on the season. The Preds, could they track them down? You got Winnipeg in there. It's going to be a lot of fun. The final couple of games here, especially for that wild card spot. But like we said, for the Edmonton Oilers, they've got the Ducks tomorrow, the Sharks on Saturday. That's a 2:00 game. So Oilers Nation After Dark won't be too dark. The Avs next Tuesday, and then the Sharks on Thursday. And I believe playoffs will get going on the 16th or the 17th of April. So it's going to be here in no time. We'll know what's going on. Corey says, I honestly want the Flames to fall just short because bragging rights to rub the Flames fans' nose in it. Yeah, the Battle of Alberta was fun, but after game one, I can't lie. I was a little bit stressed. Like, oh,
same.
Shit. What if they lose? It's not going to be good. And then, obviously we know what happened. Why don't we get Aaron Bordato in here? We'll do some Betway predictions, 19 plus. Bet responsibly here. The Edmonton Oilers, like we've said a few times, taking on the Anaheim Ducks tomorrow, 8 o'clock. So we'll be back, 10:40, 10:45 tomorrow night for Oilers Nation After Dark. Aaron, great work tonight. How are things going?
Gentlemen, they're going good. Man, that was an electric game. That was playoffs personified. And all I can say is buckle up, Oilers Nation, because if it's anything like that, we're in for some fun in 2 weeks here.
100%. Okay, so Liam, we'll start with you. Let's get a Betway prediction as well as a score prediction. Oilers Ducks tomorrow night.
5-0 Oilers.
Anything for Betway?
Oh,
Are you
yeah,
gonna nail the score?
A
I'll
shutout.
go with I guess I'll be betting the shutout. I'll go with an Oilers epic victory royale and a Leon Draisaitl goal and a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins point. I'm sure I can rustle that together in one way or another.
Waz, what do you got?
I'll go. I'm gonna say Connor McDavid has a 5-point night.
All right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
juicy.
score?
7-1.
While I don't share Waz's optimism like that, I appreciate it, Waz. That's something else. I think it'll be a high-scoring game for the Oil. I'm gonna say like 5-1, and I'm just gonna bet a Nuge goal because I want it to be on a goal. Hopefully the 100th point, and yeah, it'll be good stuff. Unfortunately, it's on the road, so whatever. But it would have been nice at home, and I do believe we might have some more Nation gear possibly dropping if somebody were to wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So yeah, I think 5-1 Nuge goal.
NationGear.ca for that. My pick, I'll take 4-1 Oilers, and I'm going to take an Evander Kane goal. Get rewarded for the physicality that he brought tonight. Aaron, I love that pick for Nuge to get a goal, though. That'd be awesome for him to get to 100 on the season. I was looking it up. He had 106 in Red Deer. That's his career high. Can he get there and match it in the NHL? That would be unbelievable. And one last thing before we let you go here, Oodle Noodle, Oilers Nation stickers, the two best combinations. All Oodle Noodle locations in the city are giving away free Oilers Nation stickers to fans. So just visit an Oodle Noodle location, get some noodles, and get a sticker. Check them out on social media, Twitter at Oodle_Noodle, and on Instagram at Oodle Noodle Graham. All right, guys. The question from Carmen: anywhere in the city you can pick up gear? I believe NationGear.ca. Oh, Sports Closet.
Yep. Any sports closet in the city, you can go and get it. And also on NationGear.ca, you can pick it up too. Like it is an option to order online and pick up if in person if you'd like to do that as well.
Do they pick up at like Nation HQ?
Little brick, which is just a block away from Nation. It's just it's in the Riverdale area by what's the golf course? Riverside. So it's just outside the city.
Would you guys go meet them?
I believe Rick is the one that deals with it.
Okay, all right. I mean, I think you got to work that in there. Like buy $500 worth of stuff, have a banana with Liam. I think that could be a selling point, perhaps going forward.
Yeah,
maybe a new feature we could throw in there.
I think we got to get Liam some custom gear, just like a banana shirt.
I have a banana shirt. Have you not seen my famous banana shirt, Connor?
No.
Okay. My first game on the playoffs for this post-game show, I'll wear my banana shirt. I wore it in Vegas, and it was a hit, to say the least. If you look at the picture, I think Kennedy posted it, of the album, and it says, "Let's Ride." I'm chugging a little beer, and it says, and I have my banana shirt on.
I love it. We need more. We need to put those out there to the masses. All right, that's going to do it for the show tonight. Okay, big thank you to our sponsors, Cornerstone Insurance. Check them out, cornerstoneins.ca/nation. You can get an online tenant or condo quote and use discount code NATION. Oodle Noodle, get some noodles, get an Oilers Nation sticker, throw it on your car. Let them know you're a citizen. Nation gear. We got Draisaitl. We got playoff gear. We got maybe new stuff dropping as soon as tomorrow. NationGear.ca/collections/ON playoffs 2023. Oil up. Also, AMA Travel gave us that great scoreboard. If you're planning a vacation, check them out. AMA Travel. All right, Aaron, Liam, Waz, thank you guys so much for doing this tonight. Appreciate it as always. Waz, you'll be back tomorrow night, hey?
I will, with Cam, the engaged Lewis.
You should have said man.
Oh, man.
Cam the engaged man. That would just kind of roll off the tongue a little bit more.
I guess. Well, I'm not as clever as you, okay?
It's past midnight.
Yeah, that's true.
Did he just get engaged? Is that new?
Yeah,
it's true.
This is a new event. He wasn't there on Monday, and then all of a sudden he's engaged.
Yeah, he gave a woman a ring, and apparently, yeah.
A woman.
Been there.
All right.
Been there. That's a lot of fun. All right. Okay. Well, we'll have the engaged man on tomorrow. He's what at Coombsy on Twitter. Everyone
Yes.
go congratulate him. That's awesome news. So congratulations
way,
to he and his fiance.
Just to mention Coombsy real quick, if you dig deep into the Oilers YouTube, Oilers Nation YouTube, there's some funny videos of him and Jay trying out donaires. So classic content from Oilers Nation.
You can only find it if you subscribed, I heard.
Yes. Well, great plug, Liam.
Way to make it subtle, was.
Yar.
Subscribe
Jay, get me
to
out of
YouTube.
here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. On behalf of everyone here, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on Twitter, I don't know, retweet it. Tell a friend, and we will talk to you tomorrow after the Oilers hopefully take down the Ducks in Anaheim. Have a good night, everyone.